Hey everybody, it's Base Windu, and today we have something really special to show, and I can't wait to show it. As you can see over my shoulder, we are going to be doing a product review on the Nintendo 64, but not just any Nintendo 64. We are doing a special, this is an HDMI modded Nintendo 64. Now, before we get started and talk about this, I want to make it clear, this is not a sponsored stream. I was not paid for this in any way. I actually brought this with my own money. I think this is really special to what we're doing to help keep retro stuff alive, and I wanted to share this with you all. So first of all, this is a pre-modded, no-cut HDMI N64 done by PowrUp Gaming, and so far this thing looks absolutely amazing. This is using the new PIXELFX HDMI mod, which is amazing and glorious, and we'll show some of that later. But there's also a few enhancements that I've done to this that I want to talk about that PowrUp Gaming does that makes this even more special than just your traditional HDMI console. So first, yes, as everybody's want to see, I have my camera here, so we'll get a little bit close up. It does have the HDMI mod into it, but a few of the things I want to talk about first is the console itself. It uses things like no-cut mods. We had things like the capacitors replaced, so for a lot of people that are unaware of what that is, so obviously, you know, inside your motherboard, you have things that can eventually burn out and go bad. They typically last 20, 30 years, and the 64, as we know, have already been out for that long, so by having those replaced, I've helped extend the life of this console even further than what people will think in, you know, another 20, 30 years, which is amazing to continue to keep this going and keep this alive. All right, so now let's move in for our close-up. So one of the best things about this system is there's a lot that I've done to this and had by PowrUp. They're just amazing again. So this system, one, it looks great. As you can see, this thing is gorgeous and it looks really good. So we just talked about having the capacitors replaced on the system, and that's good to extend the life. But one of the other things that we did to this is the slot. So let's check in the inside of this. As you can see, and I'm gonna try to hold this open, that has been cleaned out. But what's also been great about this piece here is I did a region unlock. So it's not region lock. The slot, the cartridge slot has been unlocked to allow me to now play any game from any region, any parts of the world, if it's an N64 game. Here's, I've actually got a little fancy with it, and I did change the light. You can get red, blue, green, but I actually decided, why not? Let's get them all, so I have a whole RGB change up on there. Now, for the what everybody pretty much really wants to see. So, to get that going, what's great about this here is it's a no-cut mod, and as you can see, the little emblem there, that allows you to not have to worry about damaging the shell or cut into the shell. Now, I love this for aesthetics, and this is amazing using, and then they also put in a HDMI mini in here, just so people know that's not full size, that is HDMI mini. So what's the pros and cons to this, right? So with the no-cut mod, what's great about this is it looks beautiful, it's gorgeous, and you keep kind of your shell really intact without damaging that. What some people might want to do, if you do the cut mod, if you cut into your shell, it allows you to run, so I can use these independently. With the cut mod, if you just cut into the shell, you can actually run them simultaneously. So that would allow you to use the HDMI port and the composite port at the same time. I don't really have a need for that because I'm running all HDMI, so that's what I'm really excited for. And the best thing about the Pixel of why you would do this, not only does it give it HDMI, but it's soldered into the motherboard of the system, meaning this can start from scratch as opposed to adapters where you're just changing the signal after the fact through like some little cheap brick. This is on the motherboard, so right from the get-go of the motherboard, it's converted into digital, and we're able to achieve an HD, a way better signal than if you were playing on our traditional, you know, CRT tubes. Now, it's not going to be 4K, but this is amazing and it looks good. So we're actually going to go and we're going to show off some videos so you can get an idea of what that looks like. All right, so right off the bat, one of the things that you're going to notice with the PIXELFX N64 Digital HDMI mod, that Diddy Kong Racing looks brighter, the colors look significantly better, the words, the lines are better in my opinion. Now, you can go in and you can pop in your retro. This isn't going to make it look 4K or organic OLED. It's going to just make it look better when you're playing on your flat screen HD TV. I think it looks a lot better, and I feel like a lot of people will agree with me. Now, one of the big questions that a lot of people have been asking is, if you have the Ultra HDMI N64 Digital mod, the older version, and it's different people, but still, if you had that, a lot of people are wondering, should I get rid of that and get the PIXELFX? Now, I'll be truly honest with you, just both of these are very hard to come by. So if you happen to have an Ultra HDMI, keep it. Do not get rid of that. That is a, again, just something that's just hard to come by. These are made in very limited supply at the moment. So keep it and just enjoy playing your retro console with HDMI. Now, the PIXELFX does offer new benefits like upgrades in the processor, upgrades in, again, what it does for the game in terms of the up conversion, but don't get rid of yours. I still love it. So now let's take a look at the PIXELFX N64 Digital menu, which is great, which you can pull up with a couple button commands. So you get to control everything about this system, everything. So everything from scalars, scan lines, to post-processing. Here you're able to look at things like deblur, interlacer, crop. You can really adjust everything on here, which is great. My other favorite feature is you're able to go right into this unit and go into the output resolution. And in the output resolution, you're able to adjust based on what you want. And as you can see, it actually goes up to 1200p, which is amazing. But for this purposes, I like to keep mine set to the 1080p because that's the monitor that I'm playing on, and it still looks fabulous. The other one is advanced video. In advanced video, you have the ability to do a frame lock. So if you want to really control how much the frames are on, it has the ability to do that, which is amazing. My monitor is great, so we're just going to leave that to off for now. But again, they give you so much control, and I love that a lot about this menu. The other thing that I like about the PIXELFX N64 Digital mod is the controls over the system. So you actually have the ability to connect this to Wi-Fi, so that way it can get automatic updates. We have not done that. I haven't done that yet, so I think it'd be pretty cool. There's a whole Wi-Fi setup wizard where you can select this, and then this will actually establish a QR code that will allow you to scan with your phone, and then if you have a smartphone, and then you can actually go in and connect and join it to your own network. So now you can get all of their updates without having to manually connect it to everything, which is great. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can go right into firmware. Because this is just brand new, we're going to go ahead and we're going to update ours. And now we're checking for the firmware, and obviously it's going to do the same thing. It's going to say that there's an available version. It's going to go in and download. So we're going to let that download. Now let's switch over to some games to see what they look like. And so we're booting up a game right here that's probably one of my favorite games ever. And if you don't know the company, you're going to know the title. This is Snowboard Kids, which has one of the best soundtracks of a video game. One of the best. I'm not saying the best, one of the best. But notice right off the bat, the color. Look at the shadows on the characters. And again, look how clean it looks. Again, this is an N64 game. Look at the words. Look at the option. I love that. It looks very smooth. It doesn't look like it's super pixelated where I know, like, damn, this is a retro game. So let's select on lesson just so you can get an idea of the game in motion as opposed to just menus. So again, this game runs at 60 frames per second, which is great. So you can actually really see how smooth it works and how it moves. And again, this is pretty much just help bringing back to how you thought it looks. Back in the past, it does. And it holds up really well with the new mod. So you really aren't getting that drop. You're getting a very nice, smooth, and easy play when you're using the PIXELFX. So we're going to go in here and we're going to do like nice little jump trick. And that's a nice, good, perfect right there. And as you look at the game from the background to what you see right on the screen, again, it looks very clean. It looks like everything is held together. The colors, the gradients look really good. And that's probably going to be the biggest thing you'll notice when playing with the PIXELFX mod over any other, or playing just, standard definition. So that's going to be one of my favorite features so far. So we're going to skim through a little bit. And, let's take a look at this menu again here as well. The words, the gradients, even the background. The background doesn't look faded or hurt. It looks very clean and, again, matches with what you probably would have thought how great this looked back then. Thinking this was HD, and now we're playing something a little different. So we're just going to go through this, and we're going to play some games just to kind of let you see it again in motion instead of just talking about the menu and colors. But even how just the game runs in general, the flashing, the colors, looks very good. I'm impressed. Again, it's N64, so I'm not expecting it to be better than my PS5 or the new Xbox. You know, shoot, it looks like it competes with the Nintendo Switch. And look at, again, here we go, Mario Kart, another favorite. Mario Kart's one of the biggest ones that I feel I see a lot of improvement over.
Looks very clean, looks very, very good. Again, the PIXELFX Digital, N64 Digital mod is just incredible. So, highly recommend it. I recommend, you know, saving up and definitely doing it. If you're not good with soldering on, I would recommend getting a professional. You're gonna want somebody to do that because one small mess up can really cause a little bit of an issue, but it's worth it. It's worth playing. I mean, the game looks great. I'm really excited, and so I hope this inspires you all to try it and really get into